Alright, we are back for part 2 of my Spectacle Island settlement tour. So, we were heading down to the barge, and I'll give you a little bit of a preview of why it's called the Barge Kitchen and Bar. So, you gotta use imagination through some of these spots like the prison and those, because like I said, if I tried to actually add in furnishings to all these places, oh my god, it would take me 2 years. And maybe eventually I will do follow-up videos that will allow me to add them all in, but until then, this is what we get, is the structure. I still love this element, so that's why I'm making the video, even though I couldn't finish it. Anyway, this was a barge that was on Spectacle Island. If anyone's been to Spectacle Island, it's typically filled with shipping containers. So, of course, I deleted off all of that stuff, but the barge stays. Because the barge stayed, I decided I wanted to show it off, so it became part of the restaurant. So it's all lit up. It looks really cool at night. If this video lasts long enough, I'll come back to the barge at night so I can show off as what it looks like at night. So, first off, before we go upstairs, oh look, those lights went out. Oh, one of them went out. Anyway, that's okay. So this would be the kitchen, where all the cooks would be. If I finished this, I would have actually had the bar trader booth in here. And then this is the quarters, or would be the quarters, for the people that work at the restaurant. So they'd have, I'd set up bathrooms in here, and beds and everything, and even they get a bit of light to shine down, so it's not so claustrophobic, I guess, eh? So the bar was actually the first one that I built in. It was my very first addition, because I knew I liked putting restaurants and stuff in my settlements. Or at least I began liking doing that. Up here we got the third floor, which would be kind of a private rentable space, as some restaurants have. It's the closest to the sunlight, and then we've got these little outlets here, which allow the people that are sitting and eating to have a view out onto the water. It's an island. Why not take advantage of the view, right? I think it works out pretty well. Anyway, I didn't even think that I was going to do these, and then I realized I had this whole upper walkway area and didn't know what I was going to use with it, and just on the other side of the walkway area was the water. So why not, right? Absolutely. So, we are going to head out of here. So, yeah, if anyone's built on Spectacle Island before, they know that it's very hilly, which is why this boardwalk was so difficult to do. I built part of the boardwalk, as you can see here, with the foundation, so it didn't just look like everything was floating, which I think turned out quite well. But yeah, it required a lot of ups and downs, and ladders, and shifting and everything like that because of how hilly this whole island is. But yeah, I think it actually added some personality to it, so I don't mind it at all. Hello, Mr. Guard.
That farm run by ghouls? Isn't that something?
Yes, I think you've told me about it 3 times in this last day. So, down here, we keep going. Next up, camping. If we're going to have all these awesome trees here and that, we're going to have a friggin' campground in the middle of this place. And look what we do. So, every little camp area has a tent, which is part of the Unlock Settlement Objects mods, which is awesome. Campfires, hey Nick. Picnic table. A barbecue. And each one is that. I think there's 5 of them in total, 5 campsites. Yep, about 5 campsites. So I think that turned out pretty well. I love that because I'm a big camper myself, so I love having this whole naturey area in the middle of this settlement. It feels like you're not even in the Commonwealth. It feels perfectly preserved bit of nature. And then, if you have built on Spectacle Island before. This little treehouse was actually on the island already, so I kept it. I actually don't know if it was deletable. It probably would have been like down at the water with those things half deleting. Anyway, I kept it regardless, cleaned it up a bit, and of course added some sleeping bags into it. But it's another rentable camping spot, the more unique of all of them. So, we head this way. So yeah, so the signs, if you're facing towards that something, that's the sign for it. Camping this way. Yeah. So okay, I'll talk about this. So this is actually when I started having problems with the game freezing up, was when I started doing these light signs. The light signs took forever. I in fact had my first full freeze up in that I had a corrupt save that forced me to redo these light signs from the very beginning. So it was quite a pain in the butt to have to do that. Anyway, this way is a kind of day picnic area with these little kind of sit down on the ground, have a bit of shade, have some food. You can walk around through here. I do ask the people at the settlement stay on the walkway, but these are one of the few approved areas that they can walk through. So the settlement doesn't, so my natural area doesn't have people walking through it all the time, but this is one of the few approved areas that people are allowed to walk through. And I noticed that my settlers like to use the boardwalk. I think that's amazing, because I thought they just kind of ignored it altogether, but look at my security guard. She's taking the boardwalk. Anyway, that was very exciting for me. I didn't think they'd actually do it. I thought they'd just kind of walk wherever they could. Anyway, next on my tour is my favorite part, which is the castle. So, the castle is, to me, a bridge between the new kind of blue, modern infrastructure of the walls and the security for this place merged with a castle that's been on the island. This is my pretend story. That's been on the island for a long time. So it's the old versus the new. So this is Spectacle Island Castle. So I think it turned out very cool. It was originally that bright yellow that you saw in the hotel, but I actually didn't like how it looked when I got it finished. So I redid the entire thing in this cool black and white old marble stone style, and I think it turned out really cool. So we'll see it more, but I'm going to actually circle it first and go to some other places before we go inside there. So that way we're going to have the market and utilities, and here we've got farming. So every single entrance to areas is actually slightly different. And the way I say that is that, let's go back here a bit. We'll see that at City View Suites, it's kind of this staggered, each piece sticks out a little bit more, and then a square opening. And then over here at the restaurant, we've got this kind of, looks like stacked, gets higher and higher, but the shape kind of stays the same. So each one actually has its own unique shape. Each entrance to the outside pieces all have their own shape. So we're going to go down here to the farm, and we will notice that the farm is actually 4 of the same shape here, these 4 rectangles that get you into the farm, and this is the farmland here. So just threw down about anything I could for farming pieces, I mean crops for my farmers, and then the farmers have their own bright yellow, matches the sun, farming, sun, yep. Bright yellow little residence area for them here. So this was going to be the color of my castle, which is so extreme anyway, so that's why I decided not to make the castle that color. But they get their own little house here, and we'll take a look in the house that's obviously not finished, just as most things here. I think we're going to have bathrooms on both sides of this, and then probably kitchen area and sitting area. And then up one side would be the ladies' sleeping quarters, and up the other side is the guys' sleeping quarters. So yeah, I tried to make every single area have its own separate sleeping places for the settlers that would work in those areas. I wanted them to have their own private space so they weren't all in big giant dorms together. Yes, they still sleep together, but they sleep together as per the people that they work with. So they're kind of in their own little groups together. Alright, where are we going to go next? Let's go straight ahead to the beaches. So I was really excited putting the beach in here because I knew that I wanted to have something really neat that people could go to. We knew the water is here. It's an island, so it's got cool beach areas. And when I was building the outside wall, I realized the best spot that I liked for the beaches was this way, so this is why I added it here. And you can see this one has its own kind of unique open entrance area to it. So each one, like I said, has its own different shape entrance. And then this is the beach down here. It's all still enclosed in the wall, but I've used those window walls to allow the settlers to see through, of course, out to the great ocean out there. But beautiful beach. Allows them to swim if they want, be safe. Allows them to sit on the beach, relax, tan, whatever they want to do. Perfect privacy, perfect security. Nobody's watching, so it's a beautiful area. And I love the rocks and everything that were already here. Kept a lot of that stuff, so this was kind of the most unique, natural looking area of the whole settlement, which worked out perfectly and allowed me to put my beach right here. And then we can see up this way. This is so the lookouts. You saw the signs for the lookouts. This is one of the lookouts. It's a security lookout, but it's also kind of that if you just kind of want to watch over your kids as they're swimming, but you're not down on the beach, or you just want to kind of go stand and look out at the ocean, then you can do that too, because you don't have to go to the beach just to see out to the ocean. So that's kind of the idea of that lookout as well. The lookouts are multi-use because it's not just for security, but it's also a security area. So, like I said, the sign's telling us utility and lookouts are that way. So we continue. We can see more of the outside of the castle here, which I think looks really cool. As you go around these edges here. And then we're going to go around the corner and we'll check out the lookout here. The lookout areas are these big kind of open spaces with just this upper walkway here. There isn't really much else going on. I don't know, even if I finish the whole settlement, if I'd add much more than maybe some lighting and stuff like that. Maybe some seating underneath it, but who knows. Anyway, this is what you'd see if you were on the lookout. On the lookout. Yes. So yeah, good views, but also adds a level of security to the area. Alright, we keep walking. Back up. Oh, I love how the light comes through the trees and everything like that. Oh, it's amazing. I think it turned out so well. I wish I could finish this settlement because I'd totally use it as my home base, as a lived-in settlement. All of this rock area, this was all part of the original thing. If you know Spectacle Island, you know that there's that trailer thing that's in the center, and that's the highest point on the island. So that's where I put the castle. You'll see it as I go inside there a bit later. So we're actually going to take a pause. Yes, this video is a little bit longer than my other ones, but that's okay because there's a lot to show. So we're at 14 minutes and 20 seconds, and we'll come back for the next video. See you guys in a second.